Hey everyone, this is your host Saeed with Messy Growth. Most product managers follow a pretty predictable path. Startup, bigger startup, tech giant. Ana Jagiello did the exact opposite. She started in SEO at OLX in Argentina. I love Zasado, by the way. Moved through content and product at DocPlanner in Barcelona, and now she's the head of product at Surfer in Poland, an SEO tool that is competing with the giants like Ahrefs and SEMrush. She's built enterprise products from scratch that sold in 7 countries, reduced churn by 25%, and has achieved 140% year-over-year bookings through A/B testing, something I want to dig deeper into. She's worked on marketplaces, booking systems, payroll tech, and health tech, you name it, across B2B and B2C. So today we're going to be talking about how SEO led her into product management, what it takes to build products from 0 to 1, and how to compete in crowded markets when you're not the biggest player in the room. Anna, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I want to start off with rewinding the clock a little bit and talk about your journey. You started in SEO, like I said in my intro, at OLX in Argentina. Now you're the head of product at Surfer in Poland. That's a pretty unique path. How did SEO lead you to product management?
Yes, actually, technically, I started doing spam control, a very bottom job. So I got hired at OLX only because I spoke Polish and French at the time. They just needed people with languages to control what's in there. And I found my way to SEO because Poland did not have a lot of traffic right at that moment. So I was a bit bored at that job. Yeah, I must say. So I started to investigate, how can I bring more traffic? How can I get more movements to the websites? And yeah, I found my way to SEO. I was doing it for a couple of years. And then actually, I cannot pinpoint the moment when SEO work turns into product work, because at OLX, the product was SEO. Basically, there was no product department really. It was the SEO department that was deciding what's being built, what's being changed. So I was already doing product immediately. It's just that the product was focused on bringing traffic to the marketplace.
Fair enough. Are there any similarities between product and SEO now that you look back at your experience?
Of course, it's everything is products really. So the channel SEO is a channel of acquisition, and you have to find your way to the products. So it's just part of it. There is a lot of things. You A/B test in product. You have to know your customer in product and in SEO. And and right now it's converging more than ever. So I think both jobs, marketing and product, are looking more and more similar.
Yeah. At DocPlanner, talking and going through your history of work, you built the enterprise product from scratch and sold it in several countries. Could you walk me through that? How do you start when there is nothing? Like, how do you build something from scratch and literally pull it out of thin air?
Yeah, it wasn't that there was completely nothing. So we had a software working for individual doctors. So they had a calendar, they had the booking management, very simple. It's just one calendar, one person. And we needed to go to clinics because most doctors live in clinics. So we said, okay, we have to cover that use case, and that use case is much more complex. They have much bigger needs. So that was really amazing because that was the page was blank in some way. So I remember what we did. We found a friendly clinic in Barcelona, and I took my whole team for a whole week there. We were squatting there, looking how the receptionists work, looking at their monitors, looking at the gazillion little post-its they have everywhere, how they talk to patients, the phone that doesn't stop ringing, all the chaos, and the old local software from the 80s they were using at the time. So everybody was there, the developers, the designers. We just stayed there, talked to them, interviewed them, but mostly watched them to get like into their shoes. So that's how we started.
Yeah.
And then we basically picked a couple of clinics, and we made the product for them. And after that, after we had like a POC of running, the first one was really, really exciting. We went there, we celebrated. And then we started to expand and to build it for markets.
Yeah. This is a fascinating story. So it's pretty interesting because as I was asking you the question about SEO and product management, I kind of feel like that SEO, it teaches you what users actually search for. You talked about traffic, what they're searching for, what content the people are going to be engaging with, what converts, what doesn't convert. Do you feel like that gives you an unfair advantage as a PM compared to PMs who came up through engineering or design?
Maybe. Well, a very overlooked part of the PM job is the go-to-markets and the acquisition channels. So this is something I believe the PMs need to get better in marketing, needs to get better at seeing the things from all the perspective. The marketplace is a unique thing because you build a product for the doctors, but you have to take care of the patients. So that's a balance. So it's actually B2B2C. That's a very unique balance that I got to work with in both OLX and DocPlanner. So this is completely different. It's not really SEO versus product. It's a whole balance of many moving pieces.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Talking about your journey through SEO and product management, you work with both B2B and B2C products. What's actually different? Because everyone says they're different, but what does it mean in practice?
Yeah, it's tricky. Well, really, to me, I haven't really worked in a pure B2C because it was always B2B2C. So the product, and it's a very cool thing because you get to use a lot of loops. So the product for doctors is actually the patients that we provide them, and the product for patients are the doctors that we provide them. And we do that using user-generated content. So the doctors advertise themselves, and then the patients write reviews and ask questions. So um, it's great because you can achieve really fast growth using that content and those dynamics. Like once you provide enough for one, you have the other one following. In terms of the B2B2C, well, B2C, on the B2C side, you get volume, so you can A/B test stuff. On the B2B, you get the problem of having buyers versus users. So you have to sell it to buyers, but you have users who use it, so it's a little bit complicated to navigate that. But in the end, it boils down to knowing your user. You just have more actors to play with. So it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, yeah, I fully understand that. Talking about that journey again, you went from product manager to head of product. What's the biggest difference between doing product and actually leading product teams? I mean, not managing what actually changes in how you spend your time.
Yeah. I must say that it's not that different really, because the product manager is a manager that leads already. The product manager leads products already in his cross-functional team. It is a weird kind of manager because he doesn't get to hire or fire people, but still it's management, it's leading by context, by influence, it's convincing people. So we're trained in that since the very beginning. When you're leading products, you get to zoom out more. You have to think about the bigger picture. Also, although the PMs should think about the bigger picture as well. They have to know how their part is playing in the business, and is it viable for it, and where does it go? There is much more people work, that's for sure. You have the feeling at the beginning that you don't have as much impact. It might be frustrating. You have to watch people do things slightly differently that you would do them, but it's okay. It's fine. Like we've all been there. You have to let people go their way. You're not gonna like everything, but again, zoom out, see the bigger picture, and just let people do their best work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I fully agree. Um, on the topic of Surfer, that's where you work, is an SEO tool. Pretty cool product that is pretty much product led. People sign up, they try it, they buy it. I'm assuming there's some sort of SLG motion in there too. Um, but DocPlanner, totally enterprise, sales led. How do you think about building products differently for such different motions?
I believe that the essence is the same. You have to know your customer, you have to know your user, and you have to make a product that defends itself. So when you have an army of sales, let's say it could be easy, the acquisition motion is easier, that can replace the SEO a little bit. You can maybe the onboarding is easier. Some products are just so complicated, they require sales and mostly actually customer success onboarding. So you could say that we could pay less attention about the discoverability of the features and the onboarding aspect of that. But the product has to defend itself anyway, even if it's sales-led. What changes a little is the relationship with sales. So you have to have a very good relationship with sales. You have to be on those sales call, and you have to have alignments. And also, it doesn't mean that you have to let sales lead you wherever, because again, we have that issue of many times the buyer is not the user. So the sales person only talks to the buyer, but then the product is mostly used by the user. And you have to take care of both. And there's a balance there. The sales is always going to want the reporting and those features for the buyers. And in the end, if the team is not satisfied with the tool, you're not going to retain that client. So that's the difference.
I think PM's job is pretty tough. Even head of product's job is pretty tough in the sense that salespeople tend to be very hot-headed in the sense that, oh, we got a prospect, they're going to leave if you don't get to it and build it. Oh, I mean, I can close them $100,000 deal if you just go ahead and put that small feature in. So that small feature is like a web of complexity that just non-technical people don't understand. How do you tackle that? And I'm sure you have faced it where people are coming in, they're dropping hundreds, if not thousands of features, and in the roadmap, maybe 0.1% is going to go in. How do you tackle all that different feedback when revenue in certain sense is tied to all those requests?
Yeah, there is always a tension between product and sale, of course. And yes, they are also very different personality types. So this is why we have to be close. You have to talk to them. You have to give them the perspective. The basic trick is when they ask A, you explain that we can do A, but that's going to cost you B, C, and D. So the trade-offs, you have to, if you show the trade-offs many times, the conversation is easier. The PM job is hard. There's lots of inputs, and all of them are important. That's the thing, that you cannot just pick, okay, I'm just going to listen to the customer, or I'm just going to listen to the CEO. Both have very valid inputs, and it's about a friend PM had a nice metaphor about what this job is. It's like being a whale. You absorb all of the water, everything, and you have to distill, and you have to find the most important thing. Yeah. And that's kind of the PM superpower, like finding the essence, the core, focusing on the most important parts, and not losing sight of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. You said something interesting about aligning product and sales. And you're not just pretending you want to be partners. How do you even do that in practical terms? Is that happening every week through meetings, every quarter? Are you in the CRM looking at things? Or are you using, I don't know, a product like Product Board where sales has to go in and put all this different information in there?
Well, the basic tool for sales is the roadmap. If they have an access to a roadmap, that's more or less enough. What's also important is giving them a tool to report on requests, on reactions. But really nothing beats sitting on those calls. Just sit on those calls. After a call, you can have a little debrief, because what's also great is that all those different types of people, product managers, engineers, designers, salespeople, they hear the same thing, but they take different takeaways out of it. So it's also cool to have a debrief after that and compare notes, like saying, they said they need that. And I said, no, what they really need is to know whether this person performs better than that other person. Does not necessarily translate to that feature. The problem. It's not don't jump to solutions.
Yeah. What do you think about giving deadlines? So I've worked with a lot of product managers and head of products in the past. And one of the things, I think there was a commonality in there, they dislike giving deadline in the sense that, hey, in the second week of May, we will deliver this. Just tell them we will deliver this in Q2. Is that baked into the product strategy, or is it more about not taking responsibility? Because when it comes to sales, for instance, you got to give a deadline, or like there's a timeline that you got to hit your target. Do you think that the same type of pressure falls onto the shoulders of product managers and heads of product, or Is it entirely different?
Well, I famously say I don't keep deadlines.
So you're one of those.
Yes, I'm one of those. I don't. Well, I know that sometimes sale has to sell something that
Sure.
isn't there yet, but also sales usually work with enterprise where everything is much slower. So also being 2, 3 weeks late is never a huge deal. Like I've never been in situations when something is critical, really life or death
No,
situations.
of course not.
Um, yeah, it's not just sales; it's marketing. Like in Surfer, we have to collaborate a lot with marketing with very strong company in terms of marketing. So there's an element of being just respectful of your colleagues and helping them work because you understand when nobody knows when things happen, it's hard. So I feel them, but also it's so unpredictable. You never know when it's gonna be. So I bet I rather prefer just don't tell them that something is coming until it's really ready. When it's ready, we've tested it. We like to roll out slowly, just to like a 10% of usage of users at first. Uh, we see that it's working. We have a confirmation only then. Uh, we prefer to communicate it to the bigger audience.
What do you say to the older customers that have been with you for a longest period of time, even let's just say from the beginnings of the company, and they complain that you guys are building stuff, but you're not listening to us, the ones that actually got you guys started, and our features are not being developed? How do you tackle that kind of feedback coming into you? Because I can imagine that that's not a fun position to be in when you're trying to do the best for every customer.
Yeah, the truth is that the central customer changed over time at Surfer,
Mm,
especially. In the plan, it was easier because it was always doctors and clinics. So those they are quite homogeneous. You can pinpoint their pain. It's not so
the
different and it
broad, yeah.
doesn't change fast. It's an industry that is quite slow. And here it's the opposite. We are talking marketers, SEOs, hustlers. The whole initial success of Surfer was a little bit accidental. It was also magical. There's a story you can host Michał Suski maybe later, so he can tell
Yeah.
you about that at an SEO conference.
Mm.
It just exploded, and they were coding live with the audience, and I think the first 2,000 customers were acquired like that.
Oh, wow.
Um, but they were the type of those hustlers and hackers, and now we are serving mostly in-house marketing teams and marketing agencies.
Sure.
So serious businesses that have slightly different needs, and SEO is evolving, the practices are evolving, everything is changing, so it's kind of natural. I don't think that our initial users really hate what's happening right now. Um, what we mostly discover is that they don't know of all those things that
Right.
we are building. And every time we're at the conference, every time I do a re-onboarding or something like that, they get wowed. Like,
Mm,
I didn't know you had all those things
mm.
because you use a tool, you use it for that one use case and you just do that. You don't necessarily know that, hey, that thing expanded. Now I can do other things too.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So, so yeah, so I don't think it's a big deal, big problem right now.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's all about tactics, right? How do you handle those situations? You have to keep it calm. And like you said, it's not life or death, for Christ's sakes. Everything will be fine. I do want to talk about Dr. Alia. You reduced churn by almost 25% there. That's massive. What actually drives churn reduction? Is it product features, onboarding, support, pricing, or a combination of all four?
Well, that was a long time ago, that particular thing, but I've been working with churn ever since. It is a very big problem, and
Mm,
unfortunately, there is no playbook. Every company, every customer churns for different reason. Although you could also say there is one common reason: they don't see the value. That's basically it boils down to that. But so they don't see the value for that price. But why exactly? You have to find for yourself. So either there is a competitor that just basically has a better pricing structure. So maybe pricing can solve a lot of it. And maybe they don't see the value because the product does not. demonstrate everything it does. Maybe the onboarding is wrong. There is so many things. In the case of Doctoralia, it was results in form of patients. So doctors come to DocPlanner to get a marketing tool and to get more patients, to get visibility online. And they were churning because they were not getting results. So what it was a system of a better distributions of patients between doctors. And this is what massively helps.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Talking about churn, let's move to customer discovery. So you implemented customer discovery at multiple different companies. Most companies say they do discovery, but they don't really. What does good discovery actually look like?
Yeah, so I am heavily inspired by continuous discovery habits by Teresa Torres. Interviewing customers, very important to interview customers, but it's also very important how you do it, because you can ask a million questions and don't really get good insights. So this is actually how observing would be the best. Like that's time when we went to that clinic and we actually watched. That's the perfect
Yeah,
customer discovery, because they
yeah,
cannot lie. It's not
yeah. You're right
it's
there.
not a question. It's things that they actually do. Like this is really what they do. So most of us don't have that luxury to be there and actually observe the customer. So the next best thing is talking to them. And if you talk to them, you have to rely on their memory. So that's why the story-based interviews are recommended, because you are trying to get those habits, get those things they do and why they do from their memory and not from generalization. So don't ask general questions like, how do you like to track your progress? No. Yesterday, how did you do that thing? That's better.
Yeah.
So this is how you can actually find the actual needs and thoughts and feelings, and not just get what they think they need in terms of a solution.
Yeah. Talking about discovery ultimately is going to lead to some sort of prioritization that you're going to have to build out. So you worked on multiple different, I would say, complex products: agenda management, patient files, financial reporting. How do you prioritize when everything feels very important and stakeholders are constantly screaming at you? In through sales, through customer success, through customer support, there's a lot of avenues that is being singled out and being pushed towards the PM or the head of product. Like, how do you tackle that?
That's a very hard job. And as I told you, that's the whale that has to translate all those inputs from everywhere into something coherent that's gonna bring results for the business. So that's the core of the job. Um, there's so many frameworks, there's so many things you ice, you rice, you do Moscow's, etc. And in the end, I think nothing beats the intuition and the product sense that you
Really?
develop in time. Yes, absolutely. But it is based on the eyes on the price. So having a right goal and the right direction, North Star, where we're going is essential, because otherwise you have nothing to prioritize against. You have to know who is the customer you're building for, and what do you want to achieve? What is the problem that you want to solve? So for example, if you have a churn problem right now, you have to focus on engagement of that particular client. So this is already going to narrow your choices in that way.
Yeah. Talking about that, let's move on to SEO just one more time. You've been in SEO since 2009, way before it was cool. Now everybody's talking about AI generated content and the fact that SEO is dying. We all got to focus on AI search. What's your take on it? Is SEO actually dying or just changing with the times?
It's never dying. Uh, so first of all, as of today, the pie of Google traffic hasn't diminished. The pie got bigger. So it's not, AI search is just another channel of acquisition, and it's a good one, and it's growing like crazy. So
Yes.
it cannot be ignored. But first of all, the other channel still exists. And second of all, the new channel is using the old channel. So SEO is still a base for AI search optimization. So yes, don't stop doing SEO. It is going to change a little bit, maybe if the searching habits change really, really drastically in the future, it will change more significantly. But really, SEO has been already through so many changes. Like when social media came, everybody was saying SEO is that. When YouTube exploded, SEO is that. That's just another moment in history. And SEO is still about content and backlinks, and the accents changes a little bit. So for the last couple of years, it was more about the content. Now with the AI search and the citations and the mentions, the accent's going to move a little bit towards backlinking or mention acquisition, but it's going to go back to content at some point. So I have no worry about SEO surviving this one too.
How do you think Google would punish content that is written by AI, or do you think this is just going to fall under the radar?
Well, it's already a reality. Already a lot of content is written by AI. Surfer helps you with that. The writers really don't write by themselves anymore. That's also
It's a
something
bad thing,
great.
right?
No, it's not. It's a tool. It makes you better. If you know how to use it, you have
Yep.
to use it. So actually, recently I did a round of interviews with our writers, and I discovered our user changed. The user that I interviewed 3 years ago, they don't write the same. Everybody uses AI in a different way to help them write. So it's normal, and let's not fight it. Let's just assume that it's there. And I don't know about you, but I also would have a hard time now living without AI if it was taken away from me.
Yeah. I guess it kind of like boils down to that thing, right? Is that sure, the AI is there and it is so good. Like for instance, Claude, if you were to put in your style the way you write, it would push out a very good SEO driven, optimized piece of content, whatever subject or subject matter you may choose. I guess the problem is for the short term gain, which there is a massive gain here, you're losing a lot of your creativity muscle long term. Because if you're relying on the ingenuity of your own self, let's say 3, 4 years ago, thinking of various different ways, different topics, now you have 50,000 recommendations, they can write it for you. You can, of course, proofread it, add your flavor to it more if you want to. But the fact that you're relying on a machine, it is an LLM at the end of the day. You're giving up a lot of your creative muscle. That's going to hurt you 5, 10 years down the line. It's kind of like what I'm thinking about. And somebody was here on this, I think it was Justyna Chikowska from Brand24. She said it, that, okay, people use AI to write content and posts on LinkedIn. That's fine. But if you're expecting me to read it, excuse me, and you're spending 5 seconds on a prompt to write a post, that's just not fair. You gotta put some heart and soul and muscle into it.
I agree, and I don't agree with what you said about losing creativity.
Sure.
I think AI is here for the heavy lifting, for the research parts. It can easily go to the search results and find the real sources, find the data, find the building blocks that you need. It can even recommend the structure, but then the writer becomes the manager, let's say,
That
basically.
conduit.
So
Sure.
exactly, you can focus, you can actually put more time in that thinking through, like knowing what is the message that I want to convey, what are my ideas, what is the information gain, you could say, that I want to have in that piece of content if I'm writing for SEO, for example, and just let the machine put it in a better way. And then of course, yeah, you have to edit it and add your own flavors to it. I think it gives you more time to focus on the important part and not on the mundane part of writing.
Yeah. I think you touched on this very briefly earlier, which is you talked about social media. And I feel like that social media was the biggest social experiment of 21st century that we had to live through. And we didn't realize how damaging social media could be. We were only now starting to realize and form patterns, which is this is worse than smoking, for Christ's sakes. Now, I think that AI it's a fundamentally great, phenomenal tool. Like the LLMs, I don't know if I can go about my week without actually talking to Claude or ChatGPT. That's how reliant I am in my work. So I can only imagine what it is like for students, for teachers, for any other profession. But I also feel like this is an experiment that we are very much the guinea pigs of on the front lines. And I would love to see 10 years down the line where we stand with this. So with the creative part, I kind of feel like that because I'm reliant, I don't even start my thought anymore. I just push the prompt and I let that run the creative part of most of the things. But I would love to have you back on in a few years and then we talk about it and see what exactly all of this led to on the content side of thing and marketing side of thing, not like the social dilemmas we might face. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. I made a mental note of that on my book. Talking about generative AI, you said that you guys have that at Surfer. Everybody's adding AI features to just about everything right now. I saw a toothbrush the other day that had AI in it. My microwave has that. So how do you know when AI actually adds value versus when it's just AI for AI's sake?
Yeah, so at Surfer, there's no question. Basically, AI made possible something that was not possible before. So that's to me is the litmus test.
Fair enough.
Is it bringing a value that could not exist before that technology, or and is it simplifying something and not adding complexity? Because yeah, if you're just adding AI just so you can put that AI badge, you may actually complicate stuff. May actually break stuff. For example, if your product is about being precise, about being very reliable, having right information, and that's not the best to use an unreliable hallucinating technology on right now. So yeah,
So
so
it
basically,
hallucinates on you too as well. So not just on me.
of course, it's human that way. And
Oh, that is ironic.
yeah. So basically, absolutely. Whenever I hear, yeah, let's do AI, I ask, but what is exactly the benefit from using AI in that? Does this product need AI? Not every product needs AI right now.
Fair enough.
And so yeah, there is a wave. I think it's gonna fall over, and people are not just gonna add those little stars everywhere, because sometimes solution is better using a different technology,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's just too soon. So sometimes maybe yes, it would benefit from AI in a couple of years when it's better. But yeah, don't add AI just for the sake of AI. Also, it's costly.
Right.
So you have to look at your margins.
I was watching this video about tokens and how much just they cost, and all the companies or all this B2B software now in SaaS that is purely AI driven, the margins are just garbage. Like they're not profitable at all for the most part. So I fully understand and agree with that part. Talking about and moving away from AI, you've coached a lot of the product managers in your team, of course, in different companies and outside. What's the number one thing that most PMs get wrong?
Well, that's a good question. Uh, I would say maybe um, that the product does not finish with shipping a feature.
Well, that's deep.
That's not that's not the end.
That is very
That's
deep.
just the beginning. So yeah, as you said, PMs are under a lot of pressures to deliver this and that and that, and you run, and there's like also new shiny things on the horizon. Everybody likes to start projects. Closing is a different story. So yeah, first of all, you have to think about the launch process. Like, how are you going to introduce that? How are you going to explain that thing? You have to synchronize with marketing. Maybe you need a product tour, maybe you need an update. Maybe you have to also have a call with support many times, so they know how to talk about it, how to help people, and so on. And then sometimes there is a progressive rollout. You have to measure it. You have to figure out, is it good? Maybe it needs an iteration before it gets fully rolled out. And then finally, when it's there, you celebrate. Everybody's happy. You have to observe, is it even being used? What people say about it? Does it need an iteration or two? Many times your first version, you already limited it to the essence, because that way you get something, you get eyeballs of users on it. And I'm all for having this as soon as possible. Like, you cannot have a team working for 3 months and then coming out of the cave with something without knowing at all how people are going to react to it. So yes, there is iterations, there's follow-up, there's measuring, it's how does it fit? There's always an iteration that comes out of it, and leads to something else. So this is something I think we should take more care about, the evolution, and even sometimes the sunsetting of features. Some features have to be killed. Some
Yeah.
features become noise after a
Yeah.
while.
If the folks are not using it enough and there's not a lot of interaction with it, sunsetting probably might be the best option. Talking about, I want to talk about Dr. Elia real quick. You have, achieved 140% bookings growth year over year through A/B testing. Most A/B tests fail. I've had the front seat row, front row seat, excuse me, on all of the A/B tests that we've done in previous companies. What do you think makes a good A/B test, and how do you know what to test?
Yes, A/B tests are just one of many tools you have, and actually, it's been a while since I did a real A/B test. At Dr. Alia, it was B2B2C, so I had lots of patients, lots of traffic, so I had enough volume for this to be quick and clean and statistically relevant. So at actually, and the A/B test was not really the only factor of that booking increase. So how did we increase bookings? There's basically two sides. There's enough more traffic to the funnel, and then better conversion of the booking funnel, of the booking process. So the A/B tests were done on the booking widgets. We tried different ways of doing the booking flow, getting inspired with Booking.com, and showing the slots that were taken actually improved a lot, like a psychological effect that, hey, people are booking. There's a FOMO effect, I think, built on that. So that was like a short series of A/B tests, and we did not also do it forever. We got to levels that we thought, okay, it's not moving anymore. Let's stop doing it. But yeah, I don't agree. You should A/B test everything. Absolutely. Only this is like this optimization work that's is also not my favorite part of product management. I prefer doing bigger bets and bolder changes, etc. So I would say again, gut feeling, product sense, taste. Sometimes it's just so much easier to just do it, just change it and measure the difference, or um, release it to a certain amount of users. But of course, there is a place for A/B test, but mostly B2C and B2B harder. Like if you don't have
Yeah.
enough volume, don't think about it.
Yeah, that makes total sense. If you were starting a B2B SaaS company today, what would you do differently based on everything that you've learned through your career?
Well, that's a hard question. Um, differently, not well. Differently, I've never started a business of my own, so that would be different already. But
I
I
mean,
would
go ahead, sorry.
definitely try to find a problem that I can fall in love with. Like find that problem that you're crazy about. Uh, like I was really crazy about that problem at Iterating and DocPlanner, to try to eliminate that conversation between two people trying to book uh,
Oh,
uh, a slot. So yeah, a simple problem that you can get passionate about, and define well your customer. Don't try to cater for everyone. Find that one customer with that one problem and solve it really, really well. And then see, when you do that, maybe only then you can see where does it go. Do I expand in the market? Do I expand in functionalities? What do I do?
yeah. Before we head into our rapid fire round, I do want to ask you one question, Anna, which is, you've had a very non-linear career, SEO to content to product. If someone's in marketing or SEO today and wants to move into product, what should they do?
Well, as I mentioned, also I believe that marketing and product is getting closer. It's converging. So I think marketing is very well placed to do product work. They also need to know the customer very well. And they And product nowadays have to sell itself really well. So a marketing mind in product is something that is very, very helpful. So I'm very encouraging people to work together. It's really good to have a PMM on the team. If they wanted to move to products, well, yeah, get on a product team basically as a PMM, or maybe just join the meetings, see how it looks like, what are the problems, what is the day-to-day looking like, because it's also not to everybody's taste. You have to spend time on really small details, because those little things have to be solved for the big thing to come along and to be actually usable. So yeah, I would say get on a product team first, and then maybe start your own. Now you can try to make your ideas happen, maybe even. So you can build prototype, you can use it, test it with the users. You already talk to users, so that's great. Train that muscle further of talking to actual people, and start talking to engineers, because I also believe that product managers and marketing people are like one of our superpowers are the art of translation. So we translate concepts and ideas between how the customer speaks and the engineer and the designer and the
Right.
CEO, etc. So that's also a skill that's going to help them do that transition.
Yeah. Oh, this is great advice. Thank you. I'm actually curious. You said marketers could make product managers. I wonder if it's the other way around, where product managers could make good marketers. And I think for marketing, you need a certain level of creativity, right? Like you talked about. And it's a tough nut to crack, I think. Well, both are, but I think one has the closer proximity to the other.
Don't worry. Yeah, PMs have to be good communicators. So you have to be
yeah, that's fair, actually. Yeah.
So they should, but it's a little different flavor.
Yeah, it is. Marketing is different. I agree with you on that front. All right, cool. Rapid fire round, quick questions, quick answers. So, best advice that you've ever received, business or personal?
Best advice I've ever received as
Or business or personal?
business or personal. Just keep at it.
That is good advice, isn't it? Keep your head down and keep at it. Advice you ignored or wish you had listened to?
That's hard. Very hard. The advice I ignored. No, sorry, I can't think of anything.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's a tough one. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've ignored a lot of advice, so for me, not so much, but I totally understand that. What would you tell your younger self, say 7 to 10 years ago?
My younger self. Try more things. Optimize for variety.
Is that in life or is just in work?
In life, yes, in life. In life, the work as well. Yeah.
That's a good advice. Try more things. It doesn't really hurt, right? An ongoing challenge in your current work that keeps you up at night.
Reduce churn.
If you do figure it out, please let us know. I think everybody's waiting on pins and needles to figure that crap. Your favorite restaurant, meal, or spot in Poland?
Restaurants. I live in Wrocław, and there is a really nice place called Ida. Highly recommended.
This is the second recommendations I've got about Ida. Last time I couldn't unfortunately go, but I will definitely try it next time I'm in Wrocław. This is perfect. Made a note of it. One tool that you swear by and you can't live without.
One tool. Google Sheets.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what makes Google Sheets so great? I'm just curious.
I don't. They're gonna survive everything. I don't think there's ever going to be a tool that's gonna be better than that.
That is, yeah. I think there is truth in that, 100%. Anna, this has been great. Thank you so much. You're a wealth of knowledge. I learned so much from you. I made tons of notes. I think this is going to be super helpful. I'm sure the audience learned a lot from you as well. So I really appreciate it. Where can listeners find you?
Thank you so much. That was great. LinkedIn, you can send me a message. I will reply to everyone.
Perfect. All right. Is there any upcoming project, launch, talk, or event that you're excited about?
No, not really. The SEO conference season just ended. So no, I am now going on the road. I will be working from the van, and that's
Oh, right on.
it about
Van life. What's your first destination?
south, escaping the winter. So going straight to Slovenia and then through Italy to Spain.
Have you done Croatia? Is Croatia on the list?
I've been to Croatia a couple of times,
Yeah.
so no, not this time.
Okay,
Maybe
fair enough.
next time.
Well, I hope you keep me posted. I love to chat to you as things in AI evolve and get your perspective on things. But Anna, this has been great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Folks, if you got value out of this, share it with someone who needs to. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.